Well, you know the way it goes. If a screenshot is not enough, just bring a video to prove it even more. Because yes, it looks like one of the most requested features might still make it to the iPhone 12 Pro, but probably just one of the variants. The Apple versus Epic battle is getting really epic, should we say, as Epic's next move is kind of epic. I know. And Samsung has a different approach to their next foldables, and there's several of them actually. I'm Jaime Rivera, and I'm seriously curious, would losing Fortnite on your iPhone be enough for you to change platforms? Let us know in the poll on the community tab. This is Pocketnow Daily. The official news today begin with deals, and particularly for discontinued products that I would finally totally recommend for the price that they're emerging on. Right now, the Google Pixel 4 is currently $250 off on Amazon, which leaves the entry-level variant at $549 shipped, and the 4 XL is $89 off, leaving it at $810 shipped. But wait, Best Buy actually has that up to $300 off, leaving it at $500, but the catch is you have to activate it immediately. These phones are discontinued, so this probably is the last way you can get them. The 27-inch 5K iMac is also $123 off, leaving the 8 gigs of RAM, 512 gigs of solid-state drive variant for $1,875. And then if you want to laugh a little, the Pro Display XDR is $500 off on B&H, which leaves it at $4,500, so you can pretty much get a stand for half off. And then we've got more deals on Acer monitors and other gaming accessories in the links in the description. Now, I'm still waiting for the Sony Xperia Mark II, which I was supposed to get for review, which I never got, Sony, thank you. But if you remember, last year the company did a very interesting thing where they launched the Xperia 1 and then the 5 at IFA. And apparently that's going to be the strategy again. We have new high-resolution renders from Evan Blass of the Sony Xperia Mark II. Again, this naming scheme hints to this being the upgrade to the Xperia 5 we got last year at IFA, and it'll retain the same Sony 21:9 aspect ratio and thin side bezels, and sure, even the top and bottom bezels, which aren't too slim. It also brings a triple camera setup in the back with Zeiss T branding, and there's a teal color variant as well, though we still don't have information on internals. I'll keep you posted. Sadly, IFA's going on, but because there's no travel from the US to Berlin, yeah, we just got notified that we're not going. 2020. Now, it's interesting to see how LG is adamant to try out foldables, and they've made it very clear that their formula, according to them, is more successful. Which I debate because, well, if you think about it, of course it's more successful. It's less expensive, significantly less expensive than any foldable. So of course it's going to sell if the dual screen is part of the package. But here's the thing. This is the company that came up with the rollable TV. If anything, why take more time? But instead, the company has been experimenting with other kinds of designs. If you remember, we do remember that the company is working on a rotating screen device codenamed Wing. And well, our friends at Android Authority recently published a 10-second clip of the phone fully working on somebody's car. On the video, you can see him getting map directions on the primary display while controlling music on the secondary one. After that, the driver also takes a phone call on the secondary display. I know, all this on 10 seconds. And something interesting here is that there seems to be no notch or punch hole on this display. The device is most likely targeted for people that are looking to multitask on a device, which I wonder how a rotating phone will do a better job than, a foldable. But I mean, if they could keep the price down, I'll give it a try. And speaking of foldables, let's discuss the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 2. Worst name of 2020, but regardless, I think it's probably going to be one of the coolest products. And even if we don't have official data on it, other than its announcement, but we're still waiting on the launch, now we get even more rumors of Samsung's roadmap when it comes to foldables. According to a tipster on Twitter, Samsung will be launching at least 3 new foldables. The list starts with the Galaxy Z Fold Lite, which will apparently bring a CPI display instead of the UTG that we currently get on the newer variants. By the way, CPI is what we got on the original Fold. And then next up, we've got the Z Fold 3, which we talked about yesterday. And this one will apparently bring S Pen features, and the tipster also mentions it, and apparently it'll bring a hefty price tag. Finally, there's the Z Fold S, which will apparently be a new form factor that folds, I guess, in an S form factor. Though, yeah, that's going to be kind of weird. Stay tuned, it'll probably happen with Galaxy S21 or either of those unpacks, which I hope are not virtual. But alright, let's get back to the Apple drama, or should I call it Epic drama, because it is Epic Games that's being given a way to get back on the App Store, and it turns out that the company seems to want to continue playing hardball as of, I don't think Apple's gonna budge, but listen to this. Epic released a blog post today where they said that Apple is blocking Fortnite updates and new installs on the App Store, and has said that they will terminate our ability to develop Fortnite for Apple devices. As a result, Fortnite's new Chapter 2 Season 4 will not be released on iOS and Macs tomorrow. This means that if you have Fortnite on your iPad, iPhone, or Mac, you technically still are able to play it, but here's where things get interesting, as Epic also announced that there will no longer be cross-play between Apple devices and PCs and consoles and Android phones, as there will be two separate versions of the game. One for iOS and Macs with the older seasons and no updates, and one for the rest of the community with the latest and greatest. And I know this is kind of a weird development, considering that to play on the Mac, you have to download it from the Epic installer, not from the App Store. Again, Apple already clarified, if Epic removes that in-app purchasing system that they threw in there, Fortnite is welcome back. So, I mean, you could just do what Apple asks, Epic, or you can continue doing what you're doing, and let's see which company ends up budging first. Now, the interesting part is we didn't hear anything about the Unreal Engine, and that's what we're really worried about, or at least me. And finally, the most interesting news today have to do with the iPhone 12 Pro Max. Notice I mention a specific device because, well, we've been covering the whole possibility of getting 120 Hz on iPhones, and we heard from a long time ago that it might just be exclusive to the Pros, which makes sense. But the thing about it is, well, there's sort of proof. Bear with me. If you remember, yesterday we did cover the different screenshots with the camera settings and the 120 Hz display. And sure, we know some of you might not necessarily believe a screenshot given how easy it is to tinker with them. Well, right after, John Prosser owned his leaks by later posting a full hands-on video with the phone showing off other details. Also, keep in mind that this is a production validation and test unit of the iPhone 12 Pro Max, so these features might not still make it to the final product. On it, we get to see the person turn on the high refresh rate and the adaptive 120 Hz refresh rate. He also browsed through the camera options that we covered yesterday, and we also get to see some design changes. If you look closely, the display is kind of larger, taller, and the bezels are getting thinner, which makes it seem like the notch is smaller, but it really isn't. Prosser also mentioned other changes, including the camera array is now 10% larger, the glass is flat, but it'll have a slight curve. Face ID will now work on different angles, more like the iPad Pro can, even if the iPhone is laid flat on a surface. So yeah, this is proof that there is a unit out there that is testing 120 Hz. Apparently there is a batch of units that is not testing 120 Hz as well, of these units. But let us know in the comments down below. For the price of an iPhone, particularly the Pro variants, would 120 Hz be a deal breaker for you or not? Because I'm not gonna lie, I am so spoiled by 120 Hz that it would be for me. Like, to pay so much money for a phone like that does not bring 5G and 120 Hz, yeah, no. But that's just me. Leave us a comment down below. We'd love to know what you think. Friends, again, if you want to get the news earlier, follow us on Pocketnow.com and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this one. Also, follow us on social medias. Our extended coverage happens on Instagram, and follow me on my personal handles to see me enjoy the dogs barking as I record this video. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like what you saw. I'm Jaime Rivera. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.